My name is Zohran Mamdani, and this is the Dinner Party Interview. I am running to be the next mayor of this city because this is the most expensive city in the United States of America. And it's also the wealthiest one in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. And yet 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty. I'm running to make the city affordable. My first apartment that I rented is the one that I am living in right now, and I'm paying $2,300 for a 1-bedroom in Astoria. I do have a public library card because, like many New Yorkers, I tried and failed at becoming a screenwriter, and I did that at the Bryant Park Library. Today, I have taken the train, I have biked, I have run. That's just the nature of running to be the mayor of this great, incredible city. And my train line, I live equidistant between the NW and the MR, the many cities in one. I moved here when I was 7 years old. I grew up here, and at different stages of my life, I've come to love and know this city across the different neighborhoods of the 5 boroughs. Our leaders. You can see the video of me yelling at Tom Homan. That's how I sound. The sounds that came into my mind are ones that will lose me the election, so I'm walking here. I am currently 40 minutes into episode 2 of White Lotus season 3. I keep falling asleep. I'm watching it in about 10-minute increments. Depends on which one is unionized. Gotta go Zabar's. Mets. Poppy seed bagel with scallion cream cheese. Right now, I'm going through a Ray Shremmerd phase, so I'm listening to This Could Be Us and Swang. The last thing I thought about buying was a Paddington Bear sweater that was advertised to me every day on Instagram. Great cinema, Paddington. A decade ago, I think we were still in the midst of an affordability crisis. I think it continues to be that issue, but at a greater scale, where we're losing thousands of New Yorkers every year to places where they can actually afford to pay for their rent or their childcare or their groceries or even their Metro card. $2.90 is now out of reach of 1 in 5 New Yorkers. Failed leadership of the past and the present. If I succeed, it will look like a city that will be more than a place where New Yorkers just struggle. It'll be one where they can actually live out those dreams that brought them here. And if I fail, we will see a former governor return to power in City Hall who will continue his record of betraying working-class New Yorkers while claiming to serve them. There are a number of parking lots that we have today that could be more productively used to build that housing. There are also a number of vacant lots. Ultimately, what we have to do is build enough housing such that every New Yorker can actually afford to live in the city and that we can welcome those who want to become New Yorkers. I think ultimately we have to be driven by outcomes. And if our outcome is public safety, then when we look at involuntary confinement, we see that it has a mixed result at best. And what we have actually seen is there are a number of other approaches in our city, best typified by a model known as clubhouses, of which there are some known as Fountain House, which have been shown to decrease rates of hospitalization for New Yorkers with serious mental illness by about 45%, increase rates of employment by more than 50%, and only cost $4,000 a year for their services. I will fight Donald Trump whenever he puts New Yorkers within the crosshairs of his federal government, and that's something we've been missing as we've seen Eric Adams offer collaboration, Andrew Cuomo offer cowardice. I will offer courage. I would be proud to partner with the federal administration as the only campaign that has a plan to do just that through a network of municipal-owned grocery stores, 1 in each borough, that will guarantee cheaper groceries for New Yorkers who are right now being priced out of produce. I will ensure that we protect the First Amendment, which is a bedrock of our Constitution and one of the many things that makes me proud to be an American. And yet what we've seen is a federal government that is looking to squash that very right and a number of institutions and individuals who are echoing that repression here in our city. And I am going to break from the lessons of Eric Adams and instead ensure that we protect our Constitution, we protect our students, and we protect the values of this city. I will make it very clear that at the core of my belief is a belief in the Constitution, and that is the right of each and every American to engage with, to use, to protest, and ultimately that this is also what it means to be a New Yorker. So much of what we are proud of in this city is a legacy of those kinds of protests, and that's, I think, how we will look back on those who protest against wars today as we do against those who protested against wars in decades past. I think of the ones in my lifetime, I most admire the de Blasio administration's accomplishments, especially with regards to universal pre-K. In all time, I would say Fiorello LaGuardia, who was an incredible mayor who also has the nickname Little Flower, which is the name of a cafe in Astoria on 36th Avenue. They can't see what they cannot imagine, and ultimately they can't imagine it because the idea of fighting for working people is something that is beyond many of them. These ideas that we put forward are ones that we are not only confident in the urgency of them, but also the ability to implement them. And that's what we're going to do, whether it's a rent freeze, whether it's making buses fast and free, or delivering universal childcare. He supported the fight to make buses free in 2023, and we made 1 bus route free in each of the 5 boroughs, and saw ridership increase by 38%.